Hey, hello. This is episode 2 of Creating a Character Workshop with me, Luke Halford. Episode 2, we're going to be talking about, we're going to grab our character from before, my character obviously being the space cowgirl sheriff, and now we've come up with these things that our character would wear in their environment and who they are and what they do. Now we're going to look at these things and we're going to add a little bit of personality. We're going to add some personification. So that basically just means we're going to make this person seem like a person. Not everyone in their life has brand new clothes and brand new everything. They're not completely clean. They don't have, everyone's got a little bit of scarring, or where they've tripped over, they might have a scuff, or maybe they've got a few stray hairs, or not everything is perfect. So that's what we do to our characters. We add little things that set them apart from everyone else. Not everyone's the same. That's what I'm trying to say. So now that we've got these things, how do we make our character different from all the other characters that might appear and be in the same line of work? So, personifying our character, making our character a person. So, I did a little bit of a sketch of our character. I honestly lost the original character and I used some of the parts. I looked at what we did last time and made our character, but at the moment, sure, she looks cool, but who is she? What is she like? What does she dislike? What's her favourite colour? Does she lie? Is she mean? If she is mean, why is she mean? Or if she's nice and helpful, why is she helpful? So, that's some of the things you should think about. What is their personality? Maybe you can base it on one of your friends, or you can base it on you, or your mum, your dad, your teacher. So if we're going to look at our character, when we're drawing a nice character, maybe give them a little bit of a smile. Maybe if it's not a big smile, maybe it's just a little bit of a smile and some happy eyes. And just gonna keep this as a circle head. And what else? Maybe we can look at what they've done. So maybe if our character's been around a while, maybe they're a real veteran on the sheriff police force, or they've been looking after their village or group of people for a long time, so maybe they've got a few scars on their face. Maybe they've had a few run-ins with aliens and all sorts. Maybe they've got a little scar on their ear. And then these can translate into how you think your character might walk or move. Maybe this character, I'm just going to draw a random character. Maybe this character avoids putting their complete weight on one of their legs, because maybe they had a wound on one of their legs. So if we were to picture them walking, and if you ever draw a comic with your character, maybe instead of showing them walk properly, or maybe instead of letting them just jump great distances or do these big things, maybe they've got a limp, or maybe they can't do those things. Maybe at the time your character is being drawn, maybe they've got a broken arm and it's in a cast. And these kind of make our character interesting. They make it not just same old, same old. Maybe they're missing an arm. Maybe they don't even have that arm. I don't have an eraser on me right now, but if I did, I'd erase that. And it doesn't look like I can see one on my desk. Oops. So that's some of the things you should start thinking about. So things you might do in the morning. How do you get ready in the morning? Maybe if you've got hair like mine, which I don't do too much to. Like maybe when it's short, I add a little bit of wax in it so it sits nicely. But otherwise, my hair's kind of getting a bit long right now. I just stick a hat over it. So these bits are quite messy, sticking out the sides. And then I just put a hat on it. Think about why your character does the things it does. And this will make your character seem so much more believable as a person, as a thing. And it will add interest into why it looks the way it looks. Things you can think about is maybe look at how you would draw yourself as a character. And it doesn't need to look like you, but maybe they have some of the same routines as you. Maybe do you comb your hair in the morning? Do you put on nice clothes, or do you just stuff on whatever shirt you've got? What colour shirts do you like wearing? Do you like wearing shirts with patterns? Do you like shirts with collars? Is it stripy shirts you like to wear? Button-up shirts? Do you like wearing shorts? Or do you like wearing pants? So if we're to think about our character, we've got our mask and we've got our hat and we've got our laser gun and our breathing apparatus so they can breathe some oxygen, and we've got our badge. But maybe our character's not too worried about the way they look. Maybe their gear is a little bit scuffed up because it's not the it's pretty well worn. Maybe she doesn't like looking after it. Maybe she prefers to be doing things and saving people rather than caring about what she looks like. So maybe she's got a few gashes. Maybe it looks like something's clawed through the edge of her hat. Maybe there's a few laser holes, like someone's been shooting at her and they've just missed. They've hit her hat. Maybe it's a bit dirty. It's got patches of dirt all over it. And maybe her cloak. Do you reckon her cloak is hers? Like, or is it part of her uniform? I reckon her cloak's probably a bit beaten up. Maybe it's got a few holes in it as well. It's protected her. And then if it's hers, or whether it's uniform, I reckon this is a uniform. Maybe this uniform has a little bit of a design on it. Maybe if it's given to her as part of her sheriff role, it's got little badge stars all over it. Or maybe her badge is clipped onto her cloak. And that's her sheriff badge, and that goes there. Make it dirty. And then her mask. Maybe her mask is probably the thing she looks after the most, because if she loses it or it breaks, then she won't have any other way to breathe in space. So maybe this thing is well cleaned and looked after, because she knows that if that goes away, then there's no helping people anymore, because she won't be able to help herself. So she looks after that really well. Maybe her glass, well, not her glass, but her dome is well kept. It's clean, probably a little bit dirty because she's been running around doing stuff. Her sheriff badge is a little bit worn. Maybe her gun's nice and clean, because that helps her fight off any bad aliens or something that might be trying to hurt people. So she keeps that clean and makes sure that works well. So if we're going to work that into our character, that in between episode 1 and episode 2 we've probably done a few sketches of, and we've tried to make it look cool, and we've tried out different things that might work and might not work. And then we come and get to our character, and we add these little bits, these dirt patches, these things that don't usually look brand new. So we've got our scratches, we've got our holes, and the way she wears her hair. So my character here, she's a bit like me. She just gets up in the morning, she doesn't worry about what she looks like, she just slams on her hat and off she goes. So she's got curly hair, she probably maybe tucks it up a little bit inside her hat so it doesn't get in her way while she's working and doing things. And then maybe we've got a sheriff badge and it says sheriff on it. Not that you can really read that. I've got her standing tall, and scratches, patches. Maybe she's got a few places where she's patched up. Whoops, my camera stopped working. So yeah, so we've kind of added a little bit more to our characters. Maybe you can think about how old your character is. Maybe is he or she or they a young character, a fun character? They smile a lot? Are they sad? Are they serious? Do they think about other people's feelings a lot? Or do they just do things for the sake of doing things? And do they think them through? Start thinking of who your character is. How does that translate into how they walk, how they talk? Do they have an accent? Are they really Australian, American, Irish, Scottish? Maybe they've got a catchphrase, or maybe they've got a specific look about them. And yeah, just think of ideas of how your character might be themselves and how they might go about doing and being, and how that affects how they look. Yeah, so that's the basics of episode 2. And I do want to say at the end of this episode, these 2 first episodes have been kind of connected, but otherwise, besides whenever it doesn't quite work, from now on you can pretty much view these episodes after they've all been released in any order you want, and hopefully they should all make sense. And you can finish one episode and decide you didn't quite get what you desired out of the episode before, so you can come back to it and you can repeat and go back and forwards. When I'm creating characters, I don't do one stage just once. I go forwards and back and round around and think about all these different things over and over. And I do lots and lots of sketches and try out different styles. Maybe you can draw your character and draw it in the style of a TV show that you like, or like someone else that you know that draws. So give it a go. Take your character and give it a bit of personality. Maybe it stands differently, or maybe they're really hunched over, or they stand like a hunchback, or maybe they stand up nice and tall, their hands on their hips, and think about how your character stands, how they'd walk, they talk, they do everything, and then try and add it to your character. And that's a little bit of personifying your character in this week's episode. And that's where I'll leave it. So give it a go. Try and draw your character multiple times and give them different features and different scratches, and think of stories behind the scratches and the way they walk and talk and do things, and just keep on sketching. And that's where I'll leave this episode. Hope you had fun and learned a little bit, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.